All right, so I want to talk about SpongeBob today. If you know me, if you don't, now you know I am a fan. I'm a fan of SpongeBob. I've been a lifelong fan. Been to the Nick Hotel, stayed in the SpongeBob room multiple times. Had a SpongeBob toothbrush at one point. I made a SpongeBob song. We'll get to that later. It's been very influential in my sense of humor, personality, the way I deal with relationships. SpongeBob has been a big part of my life. And it's had that effect on a lot of people, not just me, especially among my demographic that grew up with it, because it's been so ingrained in our culture. Every so often you fucking run into these people that are like, oh, I didn't have TV growing up. Or this is a good one. My parents wouldn't let me watch SpongeBob. What the fuck? I don't get that at all. Like, I get like not wanting to watch Family Guy, South Park or whatever. My fucking like Spanish teacher in fucking 10th grade of all people said SpongeBob is one of these shows that is so dumbed down and it doesn't provide any intellectual value, which could not be further from the fucking truth, which we're gonna get to in a second here. So I hope he's fucking watching this shit, because I'm about to prove him wrong. But anyways, anybody my age that knows the show, knows the characters, we know who they are. We know SpongeBob is this kid, we know Squidward's kind of grouchy, Mr. Krabs is the cheapskate, and Sandy's Texas. Everybody remembers the main things. And we even remember most of the episodes. I mean, some of those episodes, myself and others have not seen in at least, 5 or 10 years, decades. Every now and then I'll actually watch SpongeBob episodes, full episodes, even with a friend or something. I'll just watch them online. They're on Amazon. It's like, why not? Like, fuck it. They're funny as fuck and interesting. But a lot of people have not seen these episodes, which is fine. You don't need to really watch episodes to be caught up and know what SpongeBob is and know what it's about. You've probably already seen it so many times, but that is a fault because some people don't remember the details that are crucial to certain characters. There's little things. And when you watch the show, when you go back and watch it, as an adult or more of an adult, you get these things out of it. Not just jokes, but characterizations and traits of these characters that you just don't get when you're a kid, or you just don't get when you watch them for the first time. And then you see them again and you go into YouTube comments and people break things down more. And even on Reddit, I'm sure people break down SpongeBob episodes. And that's what I'm gonna do right now. I'm gonna break down, not an episode, but I'm gonna break down a take that I very strongly disagree with. Let's bring it up. Let's bring it up. Check this out. This was a fucking tweet that was sent to me, as kind of a joke. A tweet of a tweet, which is, that's fucking great, right? Screenshots of a thread instead of the actual thread, right? Classic Twitter. This is a thread shitting on Squidward, calling him an asshole, the whole thread. Let's see what it says. It says, Squidward is a dumb, jealous, broke-hating, worthless, bum-ass narcissist. That's a pretty great introduction. Thinks he's better than everyone when in reality he just thinks being a weird-ass antisocial loser is a personality trait, treats Patrick and SpongeBob like shit when they're the only ones that acknowledge, blah, 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 working a desk. It's pretty much just saying he's working a dead-end job, bringing everybody down around him. This is great. Permanently hairless with no bitches. I can't argue that. Can't even afford pants. Fucking weird. This is very funny. Literally moved into a town. Everybody looked like him. They're talking about Squidville, where he had the leaf blower. And everyone still hated him. Such a piece of shit. No wonder he's so miserable. They are really dragging him. He hates Squilliam, the more fancy version of Squidward. I don't know if he's like his brother or like his cousin. I don't know if they like say the relationship between Squidward and Squilliam. It's something. I mean, they look the same. Meanwhile, this whole time should have been put in that casket for real. There's an episode that has a casket in it, I guess. Dumb fucking bitch. Way to end it out. I guess the point of this tweet is to kind of highlight the thread's highlights and, put this little flair on the end for it. Dragging the hell out of Squidward. This thread is short-sighted, ignorant, and missing a lot of the truth of SpongeBob and Squidward and really who Squidward is as a person. I don't want to say Squidward's an angel. He definitely exudes a lot of these qualities. I wouldn't say he's dumb though. He's broke in the sense that he's working a dead-end job. He's working at a fast food place. He does be hating a lot. The essence of Squidward is that he's pessimistic. Whenever SpongeBob's having a good time, Squidward's there to quickly just be like, fuck you. You shouldn't be having fun. And the original tweet that Yowza person is quoting, the older we get, the more we understand this guy. When you really think about it, and you think about who SpongeBob is and who Squidward is, Squidward's a very important character in the show. Maybe you've heard, everybody's SpongeBob when they're younger, and then when you get older, you kind of become Squidward. You kind of become more pessimistic, realistic. Your outlook on the world isn't as bright as SpongeBob. It's not as bright as it was when you were a kid. And it's weird because SpongeBob isn't really a kid. He acts like a kid, but he's really an adult just with kid-like qualities. I mean, he has a job, he has his own house, on his shit. Like, he takes care of himself, and he's responsible, enough to a degree. So a lot of people my age, as we've gotten older, tend to say that we can kind of relate to Squidward more, and we can relate to his mood, his outlook on the world. And that really is kind of the essence of the show. It's the essence of their relationship. SpongeBob and Squidward live pretty similar lives. They both work in the same place, the same job essentially. They both live in the same neighborhood. And they both have their hobbies. Like SpongeBob does jellyfishing, and Squidward plays the clarinet and paints and whatever shit. They both do these things that never really get accepted by society, and they never really do anything great with them. And as a result, they're kind of just stuck in the dead end. But what's different is they have different outlooks. SpongeBob's obviously making the best of it. He's super fucking happy all the time. He's just fucking wired. And Squidward's like the opposite. He's very cynical. He thinks he's better than everybody else. Everybody else is to blame but him, kind of thing. Which is really a sentiment that a lot of people like me think and believe ourselves too. They're stuck in the rat race. They want to get out. They think they're better than it. You know, it's a struggle. It's a struggle that a lot of people have in real life. The conflict that SpongeBob and Squidward have, that's the conflict that we go through as growing up. You kind of take on more of Squidward's outlook on life. So it's really reflective of the audience. Some of these points are inane. Like can't afford pants. I mean, he's a squid. Been working for dust most of his life, doesn't care on fixing it. It's debatable. You know, he has his hobbies, and you could just say that he's not motivated enough to really take a leap and pursue what's best for him, like a lot of people these days are. Always talking what could have been and should have did, but knows deep down he's playing down a hole he'll never recover. Again, I'm sure that's how a lot of people in real life fucking feel. Permanently hairs with no bitches and everybody thinks he's a joke. This point is a little whatever. I mean, you don't even know that he's upset about that. The no bitches part, yeah, okay, whatever. I mean, Squidward, I don't think cares. I think he's kind of on that Sigma male, quote unquote, mindset where you don't really see romantic interests a lot in the show. So I wouldn't really say this is like a big deal. Everyone thinks he's a joke. Yeah, that bold and brash guy, for example, just shits on his art, and all those people that thought of his fucking cooking, his cooking class, are like, oh, we thought this was cooking, and they just leave. They don't even want to be in his class. So I want to talk about this point where it says he treats Patrick and SpongeBob like shit. That is not totally true. A lot of the times, yeah, he does. He's a jerk. There's 3 big episodes to me that really prove the opposite. First one I want to talk about is Dying for Pie. Basically, they both get gifts for each other, I forget, for like work appreciation or employee appreciation or some shit. SpongeBob gets him a sweater with eyelashes, and then he gets him a sweater of his tears. I don't know. SpongeBob put some thought into giving Squidward a gift. Mr. Krabs is like, yo, you should fucking get him a gift, you jerk. And Squidward's like, all right, fine, I will. Squidward's being a jerk pretty much most way of the episode until he ends up buying SpongeBob a pie, which is actually a bomb. When Squidward realizes that he bought a fucking bomb, like they just blew a hole into the fucking Krusty Krab, they find out that SpongeBob ate the pie already. He ate the bomb. And so Mr. Krabs is like, he's gonna fucking die. You fucking piece of shit. You're just gonna kill him. So this is Squidward's initial reaction to finding out that he's essentially killed SpongeBob. SpongeBob's gonna die.
How are you gonna live with yourself? Kill him!
Total remorse right off the bat. What the fuck have I done? He's thinking, he literally pictures SpongeBob literally dying right here and blowing into pieces. Goes into total fucking disarray. Can't believe what he's done. This is pretty big. I mean, you would think this, for someone who hates, quote unquote, hates SpongeBob, wouldn't give a shit if SpongeBob died. Why would somebody who hates SpongeBob care? I actually broke this down in a tweet. Follow me at CQ Gator on Twitter. Squidward literally is forced to tackle mature concepts of mortality, consequences, life's meaning, and hospice head on. Exactly the episode. The whole episode after that is Squidward caring for SpongeBob, pretty much doing whatever he wants because he feels bad and he owes SpongeBob a good send-off in a sense. Like it's a very adult episode, really heavy if you kind of think about it. Squidward has to accept the fact that he's done this and he's done a bad thing. His established character is broken down as he truly evaluates his relationship with SpongeBob. Exactly. Whoever you would think he is based off this tweet, that character is gone in this episode. It's totally gone. There's no hint of that at all in this episode. I mean, Squidward gets a little ticked off when he does the salmon suit. SpongeBob has this whole list of shit to do. I'm sure it annoys Squidward. I mean, look at this fucking guy. And Squidward's like, all right, time to face the fucking music, see this person die. This is so fucking funny right here, by the way, when he's like, we started too early. He counts down.
I guess we started too early. Let's start again.
Like, what the fuck? I guess we started too early. So unnecessary. What a great little bit they threw in there as when I was about to die. So Squidward, as he pretty much experiences the death of SpongeBob, look at his fucking face. That was a cool frame. Just bawling. You don't see any of this emotion and sadness and empathy for SpongeBob at all at any other point in the show, especially leading up to this. God, I mean, it's a really, really intense moment for Squidward.
At least I was able to make his last few hours meaningful.
At least I was able to make his last few hours meaningful. He was trying to give SpongeBob as much of a sense of purpose and meaning and fulfillment as he could. I mean, he did a pretty, if he actually like had killed SpongeBob, I mean, yeah, it's like fuck Squidward, but obviously he didn't mean to, and if he could have reversed it, I'm sure he would have. Taps deeper into his emotions for this episode than any other, completely abandons his nihilism. I had these thoughts, so, you know, a little bit last year. Shout out Dylan, Kyle too. That's a big moment. That's a very big moment in the show for their relationship and for Squidward as a person. The next one I want to talk about, which is I think a really big one, it's SpongeBob, Mr. Krabs, and Squidward, and the Flying Dutchman comes down. Mr. Krabs basically gives up SpongeBob as a person, sells him to the Flying Dutchman for 62 cents. So now it's just Mr. Krabs and Squidward, and they have a little discussion here. They have a little spat. Squidward pretty much comes to the defense of SpongeBob, shoves it to his boss, Mr. Krabs.
Mr. Krabs, I can't believe I'm saying this, but how could you trade SpongeBob for 62 cents? You think I could have gotten more?
What an asshole, Mr. Krabs. God damn.
He stuck up for you and
Look at this. Look at his fucking eyes.
you should be ashamed of yourself.
Calls him the fuck out. This scene is good for several reasons. First off, you have this moment between just Squidward and Mr. Krabs, who really are the two adults of the show. When they talk, they sort of speak on things in a more mature perspective, especially too when they have conflict between them. So Squidward pretty relentlessly and bluntly sticks it to his boss in defense of his coworker and really friend SpongeBob. And doing that is incredibly noble. And it gives us a good reason to respect Squidward and his character that much more. Kind of a side note, this causes Krabs for the first time to show remorse for his action. Something pretty rare of him and Squidward, but it's pretty well used here. SpongeBob may never know that Squidward did this for him. Squidward will probably never tell him that he stuck up for him like this, but you kind of know off this, they have this real unspoken and genuine respect for each other. So the other big moment that really highlights, you know, everything I've been talking about now is with this fucking dickhead. And the whole fucking episode, Squidward is just ragging on SpongeBob. He's like, this is bullshit. We shouldn't be doing this. Why are you so happy? The whole time, Squidward's just bitching. He doesn't want to be there. He wants to give up. And SpongeBob, the opposite, wants to persist and wants to keep going. It culminates in this. They get to this guy's house. I think you guys probably know how it goes. He's a total asshole because they forget his drink. And SpongeBob gets heartbroken. This guy has worked his ass off the whole episode trying to get here. We didn't have your fucking drink.
Yourself a delivery boy? Well, I ain't buying.
Squidward sees this. What's Squidward gonna do? He's still here, you know, despite all his bitching. He's still stuck with SpongeBob. It's really sad. I mean, this guy really hurts SpongeBob's feelings. Squidward sees this. Just so sad. What does Squidward do? Does Squidward say, hey man, it's okay, let's just go home, get you some ice cream? He's like, fuck that, I'm gonna fuck this guy up. I'm sure you know how it ends. Literally shoves it into this fucker's face on the house. Yeah, what a line. Makes SpongeBob feel better.
Sure did. Ate the whole thing in one bite.
No drink?
Look at that, and they're the best of pals. No drink.
Take me home.
We have just
How
enough time to
heartwarming is
get
this?
back to work.
Two co-workers that become friends, that were friends really the whole time. They drive off. Oh, they're right fucking there. Isn't that insane? There's other moments too where they have this conflict of doing the same thing. The one where they get stranded in the jungle. There's the idiot box one with the imagination, where Squidward kind of learns lessons, and he learns that SpongeBob is someone who deserves respect. Going back to this thread I've been carefully picking apart, you can't really say that he treats SpongeBob like shit as a blanket statement, because he really isn't. This shit where he should have been in that casket for real. Let me find that. This was like a season 1 episode, and I can't even really remember. But like I said, I mean, this picture really sums it up. The difference in outlooks that they have, and he exudes things that a lot of people relate to it. They relate to Squidward in a very, almost too real of a way. I want to shout out this YouTube video right here. Very good video, and it kind of talks about a lot of the same things I was talking about too, about Squidward. It's worth all the 26 minutes it is. It breaks down, you know, the real, true meaning of SpongeBob. And look at this thread, and it's got fucking 62,000 likes. It's got a lot of attention. So I hope that this video can reach some subset of this audience, which just shows them that Squidward isn't really as bad as you might think he is. Really not a bad guy at heart. I'm definitely gonna do more SpongeBob videos. I could talk about SpongeBob for days. And there's plenty to talk about. Plenty to talk about with SpongeBob too. So that's it. I'll catch you later.
Yeah, and I'm with plankton spelling F-U-N, jellyfishing all day again. You know Patrick's still my best friend. Girl, let's leave Ferguson day.